In August 1945, the world changed forever. The final days of World War II brought a weapon unlike any seen before, one that would alter the course of history and reshape the fate of nations. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki marked the dawn of the nuclear age, an era defined by unimaginable power and fear. For the first time, humanity had the ability to destroy entire cities in an instant, and the world would never be the same. In a single flash, destruction that once took months now happened in seconds. The cities were reduced to ruins, and the scale of devastation was beyond comprehension. The shadows burned into Hiroshima's walls became haunting symbols of humanity's new capacity for self-annihilation. These imprints, left by the intense heat, are silent witnesses to the moment everything changed. The story of the atomic bomb is one of ingenuity and tragedy, of a world pushed to its limits. Scientists raced against time, driven by fear and hope, not fully knowing the consequences of their creation. To understand Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we must listen to the hibakusha, the survivors, whose voices reveal the true cost of nuclear war. Their memories are living history, carrying lessons for future generations. Their testimonies describe a world of fire, chaos, and pain, followed by a silence filled with suffering. Families were torn apart, and lives were changed in an instant. The black rain that fell brought sickness and death, a reminder that the price of nuclear weapons is measured in human lives. The aftermath lingered for years as survivors faced illness and loss. Their stories are a warning. The consequences of nuclear war are enduring and deeply human. As we remember, we are called to reflect on the choices we make and the world we wish to build. By the middle of 1945, World War II continued to rage with unrelenting ferocity in the Pacific theater, as Allied and Japanese forces clashed across islands and seas. Despite suffering catastrophic losses from relentless bombing campaigns and a tightening naval blockade, Japan refused to surrender, determined to fight on at any cost. Facing the grim prospect of a bloody invasion of the Japanese mainland, the United States accelerated a top-secret effort, the Manhattan Project, where brilliant scientists and engineers worked around the clock to develop a weapon unlike any the world had ever seen. On July 16, 1945, in the remote New Mexico desert, the first atomic bomb was detonated in the Trinity test. The explosion unleashed a blinding flash and a towering mushroom cloud, stunning even the scientists who had created it. President Harry Truman now possessed a weapon of unimaginable power, one that could potentially end the war swiftly, but at a cost that was almost beyond comprehension. At the Potsdam Conference, Allied leaders issued a stern warning to Japan: surrender unconditionally or face prompt and utter destruction. The Japanese government, however, remained silent, unwilling to yield. In tense meetings, Truman and his advisors weighed the horrific casualties that a ground invasion would bring, potentially hundreds of thousands of lives lost on both sides. The decision before them was agonizing. After careful deliberation, target cities were chosen for their military and industrial significance, and because they had been largely spared from previous bombings, making the effects of the new weapon unmistakable. The specially trained crews of the 509th Composite Group prepared for a mission shrouded in secrecy, one that would forever alter the course of history. They carried with them a weapon whose destructive power was still only theorized, its true impact unknown even to those who built it. The world stood unknowingly on the brink, as the stage was set for an act that would not only end the war, but also usher in a new and terrifying era for humanity. The decision to use the atomic bomb was made behind closed doors, in utmost secrecy, but its consequences would ripple across the globe and through generations. In a matter of days, the world would witness the atomic age's terrible debut, as unimaginable destruction rained down from the sky. In the aftermath, nothing would ever be the same. The dawn of the atomic age had arrived, forever changing the fate of nations and the course of human history. On August 6, 1945, Hiroshima began like any other day. The city awoke to the gentle sounds of morning, with people heading to work and children preparing for school, unaware of the fate that awaited them. At 8:15 a.m., high above the city, the Enola Gay released Little Boy, the world's first atomic bomb used in war, setting in motion a moment that would change history forever. In seconds, a blinding flash brighter than the sun and a searing fireball incinerated the city center, erasing entire neighborhoods in an instant. The shockwave tore through Hiroshima, flattening buildings, vaporizing people, and unleashing a firestorm that swept across the city with unimaginable force. A towering mushroom cloud rose into the sky, casting a dark, ominous shadow over the smoldering ruins below. Within a mile of ground zero, almost everything was obliterated. Those who survived suffered horrific burns, injuries, and trauma that would last a lifetime. The city's wooden houses and shops fueled the raging fires, turning Hiroshima into a vast, smoking wasteland where little remained standing. Survivors, dazed and injured, wandered through the devastation, desperately searching for water, shelter, and missing loved ones amid the ruins. The silence of the destroyed city was broken only by the cries of the wounded, the crackle of flames, and the distant collapse of buildings. Tens of thousands died instantly. Many more would succumb in the days and weeks that followed, suffering from injuries, burns, and deadly radiation sickness. Hiroshima, once a bustling city full of life, was reduced to ashes and silence in a matter of moments, its streets now empty and unrecognizable. The world watched in shock and horror, witnessing destruction on a scale never before imagined, and realizing the terrifying power of atomic weapons. The day the sun fell on Hiroshima would haunt humanity forever, serving as a stark reminder of the cost of war and the shadow of nuclear devastation. In the aftermath, Hiroshima was a landscape of suffering. Survivors, burned and injured, searched for water and help among the ruins. The city's infrastructure and medical system were destroyed. Most doctors and nurses were dead or wounded. Makeshift clinics struggled to treat the wounded, but a new mysterious illness, radiation sickness, began to claim more lives. Symptoms appeared days later: nausea, hair loss, purple spots, and death. The hibakusha faced lifelong health problems and deep psychological scars. Many were shunned by society, isolated by fear and ignorance about radiation. By the end of 1945, up to 140,000 had died from the blast, fire, and radiation. Each number was a life lost, a family shattered. The survivors' stories are a testament to the human cost of nuclear war. Their legacy is a warning to future generations. As Hiroshima's devastation echoed, the U.S. prepared a second strike. On August 9, 1945, Boxcar carried Fat Man toward Kokura, but clouds forced a diversion to Nagasaki. At 11:02 a.m., the bomb detonated over the Urakami Valley, unleashing even greater force than Hiroshima. The valley and its factories were obliterated. Thousands died instantly. The city's hills contained some of the blast, but destruction was immense. Schools, homes, and the Urakami Cathedral were leveled. Survivors faced chaos, fire, and the loss of medical facilities. The second bombing, just 3 days after Hiroshima, sent a clear message: surrender or face annihilation. The world had witnessed the power and horror of atomic warfare twice in 1 week. The atomic bombings and the Soviet Union's entry into the war forced Japan's leaders to confront reality. Emperor Hirohito intervened, citing the new and most cruel bomb, and agreed to surrender. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender, ending World War II. The bombings sparked a debate that endures to this day. Supporters argue the bombs saved lives by avoiding a bloody invasion. Critics say Japan was already near collapse and that alternatives existed. Some question the necessity of Nagasaki's bombing so soon after Hiroshima. Others see the attacks as a warning to the Soviet Union, marking the start of the Cold War. The morality and necessity of the bombings remain fiercely contested. The legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is a complex, painful chapter in human history. The mushroom clouds over Japan cast a shadow that still lingers. The nuclear age began, and the arms race soon followed as the Soviet Union tested its own bomb. The world lived under the threat of mutually assured destruction, a fragile peace built on terror. The fear of nuclear war shaped politics, culture, and daily life for generations. Survivors, the hibakusha, became advocates for peace, sharing their stories to warn the world. Their message: no more Hiroshimas. No more Nagasaki's. Their activism inspired treaties and movements for nuclear disarmament. Today, thousands of nuclear weapons remain, and the threat endures. The story of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is not just history, it's a warning. Remembering their tragedy is essential if we hope to build a future free from nuclear fear. The lesson is clear: never again.